And the president made it clear he's not going to tolerate violations of federal law. He's not going to tolerate illegal harassment and violence towards Jewish American students or students of any faith on our campuses across the country. And so we will be responding to the lawsuit in court. And again, it's quite simple. You want federal dollars? Obey federal law.
Jimmy walks confidently onto the stage, beaming Jimmy, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's show is not just another late-night comedy. It's about to get real and maybe even a little dangerous. My guest tonight is young, bold, and not afraid to rattle the system. She's been called everything from a rising star to a political firestorm. Give it up for Karoline Leavitt. The crowd claps some cheer. Karoline walks in, calmly composed eyes, sharp she smiles, but you can tell she's not here to play Jimmy Caroline. Welcome, look at you, fearless, fierce, 26 years old, and already giving Washington a migraine. Karoline, good to be here, Jimmy. And don't worry, I only give migraines to the ones who deserve them. Jimmy chuckles. Jimmy, well, I took 2 Advils before this interview just in case, so let's jump in. You've become known for, let's say, unapologetic truth-telling. Do you ever stop and think, hey, maybe I should tone it down just a bit? Karoline, you don't tone down a fire alarm. Jimmy, you respond to it. Audience reacts a few oohs, some nervous laughter. Jimmy, all right then. So what are we alarmed about tonight, Karoline? The fact that the media has turned truth into theater and theater into truth, and you, Jimmy, you're one of the best actors on this stage. The room goes quiet. Jimmy shifts in his chair, tries to keep the tone light. Jimmy, wow, that escalated quickly. I'm just here trying to make people laugh. Karoline, exactly while the country burns. You tell jokes to keep everyone distracted, laughing into the abyss. Jimmy, you're not holding back tonight. Karoline, should I, or is this the part where I'm supposed to smile politely and play nice because I'm sitting on a celebrity couch, Jimmy? Well, usually our guests wait until the second segment before they start roasting me. Karoline, I'm not here to roast you. I'm here to remind people that just because someone is charming, funny, and has 1 million viewers doesn't mean they're speaking truth. Jimmy, I never claimed to be a truth teller. I claim to be a comedian, Karoline. But when comedians become the nation's most trusted voices and they choose to mock rather than challenge power, that's not comedy, that's complicity, audience. Claps, some nodding, others uncomfortable, Jimmy. You know what? Let me ask you something real. Do you think people like me are the reason America's in trouble, Karoline? Not entirely. But people like you help make sure nobody notices until it's too late. You make it fun to ignore reality. Jimmy pauses. The laughter's gone. Now, Jimmy, all right, let's flip it. Then what reality do you want us to face, Karoline? That working families are suffocating, that the government prioritizes image over integrity, that the media sells drama instead of truth, and that most people in Hollywood, live in a moral bubble, detached from the world. They pretend to understand Jimmy. So now you're taking shots at Hollywood too. Karoline, Hollywood takes shots at the American people daily. I'm just returning the favor. Jimmy, you realize you're saying all this on a Hollywood show, Karoline? Exactly, you fight the system from within. That's what makes it powerful. I'm not afraid of this stage. I came to speak, not to entertain Jimmy. Well, you definitely came to disrupt, Karoline. Truth always does, Jimmy. You talk a lot about truth, but let's be honest, isn't everyone out there claiming to speak the truth? What makes yours different? Karoline, truth doesn't need to trend. It doesn't wear makeup or care about applause. My truth isn't bought with a script. It's felt in the homes of people who can't afford rent, who work 2 jobs while the media debates pronoun. A mix of claps and stunned silence. Karoline's eyes don't blink, Jimmy. That's blunt and a little brutal. Karoline, reality is brutal. The fact that people find honesty offensive says more about them than about me. Jimmy, okay, fine. But don't you think your approach turns people off? I mean, you're intense. Some would say angry. Karoline, anger is a response to injustice. Silence is worse. I'd rather speak with fire than smile with lies, Jimmy. Who, all right, let's take a lighter turn before I start sweating on national television. What do you do for fun? Netflix romantic comedies, Karoline. I read Supreme Court decisions for fun, Jimmy. That's possibly the most terrifying answer I've ever heard, Karoline, smiling slightly. Well, it's more educational than celebrity gossip. Jimmy Deshay, you sound like someone who's not here to make friends. Karoline, that's because I'm not. I'm here to make people think. Jimmy, even if they hate you for it. Karoline, especially if they hate me for it. Comfort zones don't change minds. Jimmy leans back. He's clearly thrown off, but trying not to show it. Jimmy, all right, since you're already flipping tables, let's go full tilt. What do you think of me? Karoline pauses, looks him in the eyes. Karoline, you're smart, witty, charismatic, but too safe. You could have been a voice for truth, but you settled for applause. Audience gasps slightly. Jimmy looks down for a second. Jimmy, that's probably the most honest review I've ever gotten on this couch. Karoline, you're welcome. Jimmy nods. He suddenly looks more real than usual. Jimmy, you know what? I'll give you this. You walked into a lion's den and made the lion question his own roar.